Very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to USITT New at Noon. My name is Cody, and I will be your host of these New at Noon sessions every Monday through Thursday at 12 noon Eastern, right here on Zoom and Facebook Live. This week's online education and training sessions are sponsored in part by lightingtrainer.com. Thank you to Lighting Trainer for your generous support of our virtual programming. And if you haven't checked them out yet, please go ahead and do so today, as they have an abundant database of resources to utilize and brush up on many trainings offered during this time and always. Again, that's lightingtrainer.com. Although our conference may have been canceled due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, our commitment to education and training has not and will not stop. Every Monday through Thursday, USITT will bring you at least 2 sessions, New at Noon and Forum at 4. So what are these sessions? What is New at Noon? This series features some of the new products that you would have seen at our new product showcase and opening night party in Houston, but you'll also be introduced to new companies that were set to exhibit in Houston that obviously were not able to this year. And today we're bringing you one of those companies that you'll hear about in just a few moments. You'll also be introduced to new and emerging technologies as well through this online platform. Luckily, with our virtual environment, we're so excited to still be able to bring them to you and have them engage with you on these online platforms. Our other session, Forum at 4, will take the educational sessions that were to be presented in Houston at the conference and translate them to you here in this new virtual environment. These webinars are brought to you by the various USITT commissions and exhibitors themselves, and that happens at 4 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday through Thursday. The great thing about these webinar series is that you still get a chance to really get involved and have your questions answered live by industry experts and the professionals that join us. You can find more information on all of our weekly offerings and register them for free, which is everybody's favorite word at the moment, on our website at www.usitt.org. There is a limited number of registrations on those, so be sure to check them out. We post every Thursday or Friday for the updates for the next week's trainings and offerings. So be sure to check out www.usitt.org quite often for those updates. With that being said, we're thrilled to have today's guest on New at Noon. Like I said, they were a new presenting company for us as well this year. So hopefully we'll be back with us next year in Columbus. But this afternoon's guest is Brad Schiller from Martin by Harman. Brad, before we get started, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and the Martin brand? Brad, can you join us, please?
Hi, thanks, Cody. Yeah, it's really great to be here, and Martin is very thankful to the fact that we were coming back to USITT. Martin and Harman and the other Harman brands are audio brands as well. We're thrilled, and we're really thankful to you, USITT, for putting together these webinars, because I think they're really a great resource. I've been with Martin for about 5 years now. Again, my name's Brad Schiller, and I'm a business development manager for Martin, which means I'm a liaison for lighting designers to help them navigate through everything with Martin. So I help them in many different respects, designers and programmers and technicians and everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brad. For those of you that have questions throughout the presentation today, which we really do encourage, we want this to be as engaging as possible. Please use that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. It'll pop up a little box. You can type your question in there, and we can chat back and forth through that. If you also see a question that you like in there that someone else has already asked, you can hit that little thumbs up button. What that's going to do is upvote the question, so it goes to the top of the queue, and we'll get those answered for you live here today. We will be taking a couple of question and answer breaks throughout the session, and then I might have to interrupt Brad, if you don't mind, a couple of times if we have a really good one in there, but we'll make sure to get through all of them as we can. I think that's enough from me, so Brad, will turn it back over to you now.
Great, thank you. I'm going to share my screen and get this going. All right, so now you should be able to see my screen there. And again, this is a presentation about Martin by Harman. Harman, again, is a global brand that encompasses many different brands, sub-brands from there, including Martin Lighting. There's also JBL, Soundcraft, and Studer, but we're going to be talking about Martin today. And what we're going to be talking about is at LDI, we launched, earlier this year at LDI, we launched a series of new lights called the Era series. The Era series are a set of lights that we kind of deem bright, brighter, brightest, because there's 3 different models in the set, but they all share the same basic feature set. They just get brighter, and they're all LED products. And each one gets brighter in terms of the output, and also some of them have more and more features than the others. First of all, mostly today, we're going to talk about the top of the line model, the Era 800 Performance. This is the brightest of them all, and also the most feature packed. Before I go into an explanation though, I'd like to show you a video so you can really see what the fixture is capable of. So let's check out that video. All right, so you can see the Era 800 is a really exciting fixture, a true workhorse that can do lots of different things. And I'm gonna get a little more specific now onto what those things are and some of my favorite features of the Era 800 performance. First of all, obviously it's an LED product, an 800-watt LED source. It's a really nice, flat, even field, as you could see in that video, a really nice flat field coming out of it. 34,000 lumens of output, so it's very bright. It has great color rendering, a really high refresh rate, so you don't have to worry on television about the LEDs or anything like that. It's really nice, solid output from the unit. The fixture also has, as you saw, and as all the Era fixtures have, they have a framing system. And the framing system is 4 blades, much like the Viper. They could come in and angle from different angles and create any shape you want to create with the framing shutter system. Plus, these are full curtain shutters, meaning that they can go all the way across the field. So you can do wipes and reveals and curtain type effects. Additionally, the entire mechanism can rotate 120 degrees, so you can angle your shutter cuts any way you wish. As far as the color system, it's a really complete color system. It's a CMY flag system, so you have from that white light engine, you then can color mix with CMY to create any color you want. You can do nice slow changes, really smooth or really fast bumps if you wish. You can also create really soft pastels with really smooth color mixing, or you can create deep saturated colors. And what's interesting is we've actually taken these dichroics and tuned them to work with the Viper palette. So the Mac Viper has been a very popular fixture for many years, and everybody really loves that color system. So these colors are tuned to match those of the Viper. In addition, there's a variable CTO that allows you to take the unit from its native 6,500 Kelvin down through a range all the way to 2,700 Kelvin. Additionally, there's a 6-position plus open fixed color wheel. It has a lot of those harder to mix two colors, and also can do split colors and color spins and really cool effects. And you can combine any of those different color elements to create anything you want from the unit. The Era 800 Performance has a really nice zoom range. It goes from 7 degrees to 56 degrees, and it can do that very smooth or very, very fast, either way that you'd like. And throughout the entire zoom range, you can focus the gobos and the various imagery. In addition, if you want to enable focus tracking, you can do that by Q by Q through a setting from DMX. The zoom is very quiet, so when it's moving, you don't hear a lot of zoom noise either. Again, it's really nice to go from those tight beams of 7 degrees all the way out to something very wide of 56 degrees. As far as the imagery that you can create from the unit, it's got packed full of features there. There's a rotating gobo wheel with 6 gobos plus open. They can all rotate, of course, different directions and different speeds, and there's really cool rotating effects. They're also on carrier, so you can pop them in and out real easily and make changes to them and change gobos out pretty easily. There's also a static gobo wheel that has 7 gobos plus open. These are all glass gobos as well. Again, easy to change out. There's an animation wheel, a really nice animation wheel. You can see it in the photo there. That can go forwards and backwards, different speeds and all. You've got an iris. You have 2 prisms. There's a 4-facet and a linear prism. So you can choose between 2 different prisms, and they can rotate independent of everything else. And then there's 2 different frosts. And this is something that a lot of designers really ask for, is 2 different types of frost. So there's a light frost that still kind of gives you the essence of gobos or just softens the edges, which is beautiful when doing framing shutters, because you still keep your shutter cut, but you see just a really nice soft frost on it. Or there's also heavy frost. And with the heavy frost, it gives you more of that wash type of effect. So again, the Era 800 Performance is filled with lots of great imaging capabilities. Furthermore, the Era 800 is designed for the road. So you see it's got those really nice handles on the yoke that make it easy to pick up and move around. It also has a tilt lock on it for allowing you to get in and make any work you need to do on the fixture easy. It's modular on the inside, so you can easily swap out the different modules and work on them should you need to. It weighs in at 90.4 pounds, or for anyone overseas, that's 41 kilograms. So it's a little heavy, but not too bad considering all that it does. Again, it's got the modular connections on the inside. It uses a true one connection, so you true one into it and then out to your power source that you need to do from there. And just to give you an example, at 120 volts, it's at about 1270 watts that it's using at full capacity. Now, the Era 800 Performance, we are shipping this unit. We were shipping before everything kind of came to this pause. And there were a couple of shows that were getting ready to actually premiere it, and we were excited about those. So hopefully when all the shows are back happening, you'll be able to see them out there again in the real world. The 1975, that band was starting a new tour with a large selection of the Era 800 Performances keying into that show. And also a television show on TNT called AEW Dynamite, which is a wrestling show that's nearly an entire Martin rig, actually, was about to switch out to Era 800 Performances. So when we get back to having everything live again, you can certainly find Era 800 Performances in action there, and I imagine on quite a few other shows as well. So that's pretty much the Era 800 Performance in a nutshell. Before I move on, we'll see if anybody has specific questions about the Era 800 Performance. Cody, were there any questions?
Yeah, I did have one question come in. This is from Matt Reynolds. He asks, what would be the advantages and disadvantages of the Era line over high-end's Sola frame line?
Well, that depends. You know, every manufacturer makes very similar products in this range. It depends on what you're looking for. I don't want to, you know, sit here and disparage some other manufacturer because they're a fine manufacturer as well. But you can look at the facts. You can look at the cut sheets and make choices from there. You can also do shootouts when we can all get together again and look at lights side by side. There's great things to evaluate, not just what's on paper of lumen output, but you can look at how things color mix. You can look at the flat, even fields of the lights next to each other, look at movements, listen to the sounds. That's really the best way to compare two fixtures, to see them side by side.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And again, to all of our viewers, either on Facebook Live or on Zoom, feel free to use that Q&A feature. If you're on Zoom, it's the little button at the bottom. If you're on Facebook Live, feel free to comment in the comments, and we'll get those questions answered for you. Brad?
Thanks. Yes, so as I said, this is the Era 800 Performance. It's the brightest of the Era line, but there are two other products, the Era 400 and Era 600, which have a lot of the same feature set. They all have the same framing shutters and all. And I have another video with very similar music and similar cuts, but it's another video that kind of shows the entire range. So I'll show you that, and then we'll talk more about it as well. All right, like I said, that was a quick little video. And the Era line consists of, basically the Era Performance line consists of three main fixtures. That's the Era 800, which is 34,000 lumens of output, and again, the most feature packed. Then moving down from there, there's the Era 600, that's 19,000 lumens, and it has most of the same features as the Era 800. However, a few things are different. The number of gobos is slightly different. There's only one frost, that's a heavy frost. But they all have the same framing shutters, the same color system, similar feature set in terms of prisms and iris and animation wheels. Then we also have the Era 400, which is 10,000 lumens. And what's interesting on the Era 400 is it actually comes in two different models. So you can get the 10,000 lumen model that's a cold engine, or for specific things when you want to replicate incandescent light, we actually have a warm light engine, and it comes in at about 6,000 lumens. And so you can choose between which model you'd like to purchase of the Era 400 for your needs. But all three of these lights, again, share the same core feature set of color mixing, a nice compact size, and those framing shutters, as well as gobos and iris and various other features. So that's the Era 400, or the Era Performance series. There's also in the Era line a previous product we had called the Era 300. It's not a performance, it's a profile. And that one is near 10,000 lumens as well. I think it's about 13,000 actually. And that product does not have framing shutters, so that's why it's not a performance, but a profile fixture. So that's kind of an overview of the Era Performance series.
Hey Brad, I have just a couple of questions that have come through. The first one being, how noisy are these fixtures? We have someone asking the dB rating for the fixture, how noisy is it? As well as, like many other Harman products, these seem directed for concert tours. I'm looking for an LED engine mover for use in a small 150-seat theater venue for which loudness is a key issue. Are these viable for silence in an intimate space? How quiet are they?
Yeah, I don't have the exact dB rating. We're still working on getting those measured in an independent lab, but we will have those numbers up on our website soon. We do have that for some of our other products. But these products are very quiet. They're not extremely loud. I don't have that rating. They are pretty quiet, and they do all have studio modes that you can enable from DMX. So from Q to Q, you could actually tell them to go into a studio mode, be much quieter than their normal mode. They will reduce their intensity a specific amount, depending on which unit it is. It'll reduce its intensity while you're in that mode, but it'll be near silent during that time. And then if, say, during a musical number, you want to bump it back up, you can, from Q to Q, bump it back to its normal mode, which again is not very, very loud, but I don't have those numbers right now. But they will be on our website. Now, if you're looking for a small theater, like was asked in that question, the Era 400 is certainly a nice source for that, again, because it's almost like a remote focusable ellipsoidal in some ways, because it is a lower output of 10,000 lumens, framing shutters, and color mixing. And additionally, we do have, if you want absolute silence and that perfection on every degree, we have the Encore Performance line. And that's kind of the #1 light on Broadway right now. because it is near silent on all its operations. And that's another product you can find on the Martin website, the Encore Performance.
Perfect. That's a great option. Thank you. I have another question coming in from Peter Anderson. Do the static rotating wheels accommodate steel gobos in addition to glass?
Officially, no. They're all glass wheels. That's what we specify in the user manual, and that's what I have to tell you as a representative of the manufacturer. It's all glass.
Perfect. Will there be a profile model of the Era 800-400 as well?
That is currently being looked at. We have not made a decision on that yet.
Steve Irwin is asking, do they have all the same monster zoom?
Their zoom ranges are very similar. They're slightly different. The 600 goes to 6 degrees into about 40 something degrees. So it's a little less wide, but slightly narrower. And the 400, I forget the exact specs, but it's I think 10 to 40, something like that. It's a little less, but they're very similar.
Okay. A couple of other questions on this before we move on. How many fans do they have, and where are they located on the fixture themselves?
Again, it varies from fixture to fixture, so the exact number, you'd have to look at the unit, and they're on the back of the head, and I believe also in the top box portion.
Matt's asking, is studio mode a profile setting for the fixture to stay always on instead of programming into every cue?
Once you set it to that mode, it'll stay in that mode until you tell it to not be in that mode.
Perfect. And one more question comes from Tom. Tom asks, does the Era product line include options for built-in wireless control connectivity, either as a standard option or as an optional upgrade?
No, at Martin, we don't build wireless into our fixtures, but there's plenty of manufacturers that have things you can plug into your light for wireless usage.
Okay, perfect. That is it for now.
Okay, well, super. Well, I'd like to also talk about a few other products that we were going to show at the USITT show. So we'll move on to that. Thank you for your questions, everyone. That was great. So first of all, we were also going to show you the VDO Atomic Dot. It's a really, really cool new product we have. It's a small little par 38 size unit, and they connect together kind of like Legos. It's IP65 rated. It has a white light source out the front that can either be cold or warm, depending on the model you purchase. And that's an 11-degree beam, really narrow, bright beam. And then it has a RGB LED aura effect that's comprised of 16 RGB LEDs in it. And you can create all kinds of exciting things. You can pixel map them, you can do internal effects, or you can use it with our P3 system. And again, they connect together like Legos to allow you to create any type of layout you'd like with these fixtures. And they're really exciting what you're able to create with them and what you can do. They're a fun, creative tool. And I encourage you to go look on the Martin website for the VDO Atomic Dot. There's videos and lots of other information there about that. Also, we were going to show you at USITT our ELP ellipsoidal line. This is a line of LED ellipsoidals, and they come in two different models. There's a warm white version, and there's also a color version. The color version includes red, green, blue, amber, and lime chips. So it's a 5-color system and allows you to color mix to create any color you'd like. There's also preset colors in there and also preset color temperatures that you can adjust with that. Just like any LED ellipsoidal, you can adjust the framing shutters in there. It uses A and B size gobos, and you can use our lenses that we have, or you can use industry standard lenses as well. What's really cool though about the ELP series is we have something new to offer on ellipsoidals that no one's done before, and that's what we call the quick focus knob. You can see it on the image there just above the front of the unit, a big round knob there. And what that does is it allows you to quickly and easily set the focus of the unit without having to reach down and under to that awkward nut underneath and have the whole front lens sliding around on you. You literally just unlock it slightly, turn this little gear knob, and the lens will slide forward and backwards. It allows you to do focus very, very easily, and then turn it and it locks in place without any sliding. It's really a really fantastic feature for the ellipsoidal. And that works whether you're using our lenses or other industry lenses with the ELPs. So again, there's 2 models, and you can go on the website at martin.com and check out more about the ELPs. And then lastly,
Perfect.
oh, sorry.
Sorry, Brad. I just had a couple of questions come in on the dot, on the atomic dot and the ELP. So while we're on those, if we can just get those answered. The first one was for the atomic dot. Does the unit dim to 0 smoothly?
Yes, very smoothly.
Okay, perfect. The next one was also on the atomic dot. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You ask that question, then I'll go ahead.
For the dots, how are they powered and how do they get data?
Yeah, see that tied in? I suspected we were getting there. So the way they work is each dot has a special cable. It's called a PDE cable, power data cable, that we connect them together with. And those cables run both power and data together back to a junction box, which is a small little IP65 box that has a DMX input, and has a True One input, and it also has an Ethercon input. So the fixture then can operate through DMX, ArtNet, P3, SACN, or our P3 protocol using our P3 video processors. So they all connect like that. You can hook up to 32 of them from one of those little junction boxes. And it all runs through these IP65 cables. And what's really cool is each of the atomic dot fixtures comes with a little 1-foot tail already built into the fixture. So if you're connecting them together as they are in that image there, you don't have to get all these little cables. They're actually built into the units themselves.
Perfect. And a question came through about how many you could link together, but you answered that one as well. So that was great. The next question was, has the ELP gobo slot, is it fixed to accommodate glass holders?
Yes, you can use glass holders, A or B size, and there's also an accessory slot.
Great. Let's see. On the profile lamp, can the quick focus be relocated to the bottom of the unit?
No, it's only on the top of the unit.
Okay. And that is it for now.
Cool, great questions. So one more thing that I'd like to talk about here is a new product that we were going to launch consecutively. It wouldn't have been at USITT, but it would have been at Pro Light and Sound. And we're actually launching it tomorrow virtually from the Martin website. And this is a new Mac product. So if you're familiar with our various Mac type products that we have in the Mac line, we have a new one coming tomorrow, and you can see a little blurry image of it there. I can't give you any details today. There's been some teasers out there on social media, but if you go to the Martin website, you can click on something we're talking about next, the learning sessions, and there's actually a session you can sign up for tomorrow that will go through the launch and explain this new feature. Our product manager will go through the entire fixture for you. And then after that, it'll all be live on the website, so you can click on the web page and learn all about this exciting new product. So we're really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. So speaking of that, obviously everybody's stuck at home right now, and we have lots of opportunities for you to learn more about Martin and learn more about what we do and our products and everything. On the Martin website, you'll see this really large banner here called Learning Sessions. If you click on that, then you'll be directed to a site where there's lots of information about these great new workshops we're doing at Martin. We're doing a live workshop series. In this series, we have some of our staff doing specific product demos, giving explanations of how to work with different lighting products, our products, or just lighting in general. And then we have a huge host of industry professionals that we're going to be working with, that they're presenting a lot of information. So for example, on Thursday, Susan Rose, a very well-known designer and programmer, she's going to be doing a session about lighting programming. And there's many others coming up. So you can click there at the learning sessions and you can learn all about what's coming. You can also sign up for the product launch tomorrow. In addition, you can click, there's a button at the bottom that says learn about other sessions. You'll see there's even more sessions coming up than what's on that website. Plus, our Harman team is also doing audio sessions. So if you're a technician or someone who's also interested in audio, I won't hold it against you, it's okay. But you can go on there, and there's lots of great sessions as well for our audio brands from AKG, JBL, Soundcraft, Studer, and the others. So there's great audio classes as well as lighting classes from Harman. All those are free, they're all coming up. And if you do sign up for one, click the little button for the brand, and you'll get an email every week telling you of the new sessions that are, as they're added, because there's a lot coming up.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing those resources. And just so everyone knows as well, if you have any trouble finding that, we have done a link on our resource page, the USITT resource page, that has listed all of those free learning sessions out there. So you can check out our website as well for more information there.
Super. And then one other thing I want to explain to everyone too is I write a blog for Martin, and this is the link to the blog here. And on my blog, I have lots of great tips and tricks for various Martin products. And most recently, I did a post that you see a little image of it there, of lots of resources for learning from Martin that already existed before we got into all this time. So you can find lots of different learning sessions that already exist, ways to learn about Martin products, lots of information I've just shared on that page there. Plus, if you go through the blog, there's lots of tips and tricks. And again, you can subscribe to that. I will be adding more content to it as we go, as I've been doing over the last few years. So that's another great resource for you to learn more about Martin.
Perfect.
Right.
And that, again, that blog post has been shared as well on our social channels and on our website. So feel free to check there.
So are there any other questions about Martin in general, Martin products?
Let me just double check our Facebook feed.
While you're looking at that, I'll let everyone know we have some other really great new activations that we're currently developing, some really cool new things that haven't been seen before that aren't really training sessions, but are some new exciting ideas that we're going to be bringing to all of you, to everyone, to interact with Martin in a new, fresh, different way. We're currently working on those, and in the next 2 weeks or so, you'll start to see those announced at the Martin website and on Martin social media. So keep your eye out for that. There are going to be some exciting things that I think you'll have fun being involved with.
Perfect. Brad, I checked both on Zoom and on Facebook, and we do not have any other questions at this time.
Okay. Well, we have one more thing we'd like to do here. That is, we are owned by Harman.
I lied.
Oh, what?
I lied. I'm sorry. I lied.
Oh, good.
Just had one come through from Dean. Dean is asking, what is the light output for the atomic dot?
The atomic dot in the cold unit is about 3,500 lumens output of the main output. And then the aura, of course, is just a small aura that has a little glow coming out of it.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, that's it.
Okay. Perfect. So moving forward, like I said, we are owned by Harman, and Harman has a lot of different brands in the professional field and in other fields. And one of the great things is we have access to some consumer products. And so what we'd like to do is we'd like to share some of those with you. And we're going to do a random drawing, and we have access to some JBL go-to portable Bluetooth speakers. We'd like to give some of those away. Cody, I guess you can explain a little further how that's going to work.
Of course. So I'm going to do a quick random draw here through our attendees that have tuned in with us today. I'll announce the 3 names of the winners of the JBL Go-To portable Bluetooth speaker. And then those 3 winners, if you will please email me, my email address is Cody, C-O-D-Y, @usitt.org. Email me with your mailing address. We'll get those over to the team, and we will get those sent out to you as quickly as possible for your swag. We know that part of the new product showcase annually when you're with us in person is the huge amount of swag that's given out. So we're thankful to Martin and Harman for doing this as well. These might be a little heavy to be tossing out into an audience full of people, but we'll make sure that you get them through your mailbox. So let me just draw the 3 random names now. And we've got Stuart Williamson,
Yay.
Corey Silverman,
Yay.
and Lynn, sorry if I totally mispronounced this last name, Krenicki, Lynn Krenicki. So if the 3 of you, Stuart Williamson, Corey Silverman, and Lynn Krenicki, you can either send me your address in the chat. That might be a little bit much unless you can figure out how to send it to me directly, or if not, just shoot me an email. Again, that's Cody@USITT.org, and congratulations to all 3 of those winners.
Yeah, congrats. Thank you very much. And 2 more things that I want to talk about. One is, again, thank you for listening, and thank you, USITT, for putting this together. We are looking forward to being back at USITT on the trade show floor. We'll definitely do that next time that we can in Columbus. Columbus, right? Yeah.
Yes, Columbus.
So we look forward to being there. Also, you'll find us hopefully at LDI. Plus, we typically do road shows throughout the year where we travel around with a really cool setup. You can sign up for the Martin Innovate newsletter on the Martin website. You'll get all the Martin news. We come around, we might be in your city, and we'll be showing off our products. We do free learning sessions there. We give free swag away, food, all kinds. It's really a fun day. So keep your eyes out for that. Once we all get out of this lockdown mode, we will definitely be back on the road with those. And if anyone has questions, you can reach out to me through my email, brad.schiller, SCHILLER, @Harman, HARMAN.com. Very easy to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about anything Martin. And thank you again for attending, and thank you USITT for putting these together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you so much, Brad, and Martin by Harman for making the effort and coming out and doing this for us today. We really appreciate it, and I think our attendees did as well. We hope that you enjoyed the session today, and we look forward to welcoming you back to another of our online education and training sessions in the near future. Later this afternoon, we actually have two different format for sessions, so you can pick and choose which one you want to do. They're on totally different topics. The first one is fire safety and your drapes. Are you prepared? And then the second option of today's 4 o'clock sessions is featuring the Camsys Magic Q MQ70 compact console and their new color picker engine. So there's 2 of those. They're on our website, www.usitt.org. You can pick and choose which one you'd like to sign up for. And then tomorrow, right back here again, new at noon, we'll be joined by Aria Grosvenor from ACT Lighting, and we'll be discussing the Grand MA3 lighting console. So be sure to join us there again as well. Again, all of this information can be found on our website, www.usitt.org. And while you're at it, be sure to like our social media channels as well. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, we're everywhere, Twitter, for all the latest USITT news. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our friends at the American Society of Theater Consultants for their generous support in making these webinars and broadcasts possible. We really appreciate our friends at ASTC. If you have a moment at the completion of this webinar, we'd really appreciate your feedback on a short survey that will prompt you to. This survey is just to ensure that we are giving you the best content possible and the content that you want to see right now during this time. Once again, we thank you so much for joining us today for today's New at Noon session. We'll hope to see you again tomorrow right here and again later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. On behalf of all of us at USITT and Martin by Harman, we wish you all the best. Hope you have a great afternoon, and we'll see you right back here same time tomorrow. Stay well, everyone. Goodbye.